Super Bowl 60 is set. I finally remember it's LX. You know how much I hate the Roman numeral format of the Super Bowl, but it is what it is. Seahawks and Patriots, we'll talk a little bit about that. Early lean, heavy on that next week, obviously, since we're a week away. We're live on a Thursday night. It's Chris, it's Ash, if you're catching us on TV on Saturday or Sunday. No picks this week.
No picks.
Mercifully,
yeah, I guess.
no picks. Although I did hear from a viewer, Melissa, who looks forward to our picks, maybe to laugh at them. They're so bad.
I was going to say she's certainly not making any money off of them. That's for sure.
Well, she could if she goes the other way.
Yeah, it's true.
Just bet against us.
Are good. Picks a couple of yours, a couple of mine. 8
of the 10 head coaching spots in the NFL are now filled, and we are loaded with guests. Let's get going on Onorato and Miller.
This is Onorato and Miller, sponsored by House.
All right, Ash, a week before the Super Bowl, it's the winningest Super Bowl head coach of all time who is not stealing the headlines by anything he did. It's what voters did to him, which we go right from the jump.
And now, dirty, difficult, and done. Sponsored by Performance Industrial.
And the great people at Performance Industrial, Bill and Karen Miller, never a job too dirty or too difficult for them to get it done. Industrial cleaning, epoxy flooring. This one shocked me. Pro Football Hall of Fame voters have done Bill Belichick dirty. He needed 40 of 50 votes and didn't get that. 80% of the vote and didn't get that. He's won 6 Super Bowls as a head coach, 2 more as a defensive coordinator. He's second all time in NFL history in career wins, most playoff wins of all time. He's widely considered the greatest head coach in NFL history. And he's not getting into the Hall of Fame in his first year on the ballot. This is embarrassing. And I heard Sal Paolantonio of ESPN say, well, there were a bunch of guys who maybe were on the fringe, and so voters may have allocated votes to them, figuring Belichick was going to get no.
Right. Don't assume. Do not assume.
And I just think if I had a vote, I'm voting for the people I think
deserve to
should go into the right. And so Belichick is an easy check mark.
I'm not leaving it up to anyone else.
Like, I want my ballot to reflect the layups,
your
especially
intelligence as a voter.
The easy ones. Belichick's an easy one. This is crazy.
He should have been the easiest of ones. It's embarrassing. It's stupid. It's upsetting. Like, as a sports fan, you look like a total bunch of idiots. You look like you're clueless. You have no idea what you're doing. No one should ever go in on the first ballot ever again. Yeah. I don't even care. No one ever again. No one is going to win 6 Super Bowls as a head coach. I truly believe that. The combination will just never happen again. And I don't care how much you think it was Brady. And I understand that when he went to Tampa and won another one, a lot of people thought, well, maybe it was more Brady than Belichick.
Maybe.
Brady would not have won as many Super Bowls as he did without Bill Belichick. He's the greatest coach, whether you like it or not, statistically in almost every single category in NFL history. It's so I hate Bill Belichick. I hate the New England Patriots. And even I would have voted for Bill Belichick because I know something about sports.
So the argument here could be that Spygate and Deflategate added to people saying, you know what? We're not going to put him in on the first ballot because as a franchise under his watch, the Patriots cheated. I would say, as a Hall of Fame voter, it's really not up to you, right? The punishment had been handed down by the NFL. There were suspensions, fines, and draft picks taken. To me, it's like, okay, it's kind of done with now. And I also just don't believe that there was enough there to warrant not voting for him for the Hall of Fame. This one,
it's so dumb.
I don't know. Eli Manning doesn't get in his second year on the ballot. I think that's a miss now too.
Yeah, maybe.
Year one, okay. Maybe. Come on, he's a 2-time Super Bowl winning quarterback in New York. And statistically, he's top 10 in a lot of important categories. So Eli is a Hall of Famer. How long will we have to wait? I don't know. But the Belichick thing, and the other, something else that'll make me crazy on this is like Robert Kraft is probably going to go in. The owner? Put the coaches and the player, the owner?
It's got to grind
Come
Belichick's gears.
on.
The two already don't love each other.
Right.
And now the owner's basically like taking the place.
And almost anybody who has something to say about this is panning voters. Like, what a joke.
You know, when you have forced the organization, whatever that organization is, to come out and make a statement that you've really messed up.
Yeah. Like you thought the College Football Playoff Committee had a lot to answer for. You thought that the NCAA Tournament Committee has a lot to answer for every March. This is the panel of voters for the Pro Football Hall of Fame, 50 of them.
Do you remember when Jeter wasn't unanimous
Missed by
and
one.
people went crazy?
Yeah.
This is so much more egregious. It's not even funny.
Yeah. Carol, it's good to have you with us too. Glad you caught up with us in the new year. Feels like it's been a little while.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a break here on Onorato and Miller. We've got a bunch of guests this week, which
Loaded.
is awesome. We are talking with Winter Olympian Ashley Farquharson. She's a USA Luge athlete who lives in Lake Placid. We talked with her while she's in Germany, getting ready to go to Italy for the Milan Cortina Games. Our conversation with Ashley Farquharson next.
Novices, no matter who you are, they're going to put all the detail in the world into your brain. I feel like they have been a big part of my success, making me feel comfortable. This is Harrison Butker, Super Bowl champion kicker for the Kansas City Chiefs. Claim your crown.
The mountain is calling. Are you ready? At Alpenhaus, we have everything you need for your season on the slopes. Our expert team is ready to help you find the perfect setup for an amazing winter of skiing and snowboarding. With a great selection of the industry's top brands, you'll find the right skis or board to match your experience and style, and all the best equipment and accessories to keep you safe and comfortable. Get outside and play with Alpenhaus, run by skiers and riders since 1964.
And now, back to Onorato and Miller. Sponsored by Alpenhaus.
Welcome back to Onorato and Miller, and joined now by Olympian Ashley Farquharson. Ashley, it's so great to have you on with us. Congratulations on all the success you've had here. We are in Albany, New York, the NBC. Of course, we'll be airing the Olympics coming up here in fewer than 2 weeks now. I can't imagine the excitement that's building. I know you trained in Lake Placid, which is not far from us here in the capital region, and a great vacation destination for a lot of people. How did that aid in your ability to become an Olympian?
Lake Placid is actually our USA Luge headquarters, and we have a facility up there that's specifically for pulling starts. A luge start, we start seated, we pull off, and then we have little spikes on our fingers where we paddle before we lay down into the sled. They have a ramp out there that's iced all summer long, so we can practice that in the off season, and that's been instrumental in the development of not only me, but also all the younger kids after me.
What did you think of Lake Placid as a village, as a place? Obviously a lot of Olympic history there, but it has really boomed.
It really has. Now I live there full time. When I was actually in contention for the 2018 Olympics. So I moved out there right after I graduated high school. And at first I really didn't get it. I am from Park City, Utah. I was like, these mountains are small. But now I've had a lot of years. I've built relationships and a community out there. It's really beautiful and I love it.
Yeah, it's incredible. I've done the luge, if you will. It's not really, it's a toboggan, but I'm going to pretend like it's a luge out onto Mirror Lake. I can't even imagine doing what you do.
It's like that, but like way cooler and better.
I read that you had an older brother who was in a luge program as well as a young kid, and you started at 11 years old. Did you know how daring of a sport this was before you first tried it?
Growing up, it was just an after-school program, and it was something that I thought looked really cool and fun. I did not really realize that it was a kind of weird and niche, and that it would eventually, I would get to levels where I would be going this fast, and it can be dangerous. So when I first started, I would say no, but now I'm kind of past that.
How have you been able to mentally prepare for these big moments in your career? World Cups, World Championships, Olympics, and here we are on the brink of the Milan Cortina games. How have you been able to put yourself in the right mental space to perform on this stage?
Part of our training all summer is about getting mentally ready and creating a sort of bulletproof mindset so that you can perform. You can perform through the nerves, through the anxiety, through the fatigue, whatever is happening, you can compartmentalize and put your best self and your best mindset on the line. So it is a lot of practice. It's a lot of visualization and knowing yourself and what you need to do to get there mentally. But this is my second Olympics. It's my 7th year racing on the World Cup circuit. So I'd like to think I'm a little better at it now.
And I know that you use reading as a way to kind of slow down the world around you. When did you kind of pick up that as something? Obviously, it's just a hobby of yours as well, but when did you kind of learn that, okay, this helps me decompress or compartmentalize everything that's happening around me as a world-class athlete?
I've been a big reader since I was a kid. I kind of always have a book on me. And it's just not only is it a great way to fill time, keeps me off my phone, but it does kind of take you out of your current headspace, and it can be a good opportunity for a reset. You go visit somewhere else for a little while, whatever kind of book it is, you're in a different zone, and then you can come back, refocus, recenter.
Did you anticipate working towards a degree while you were still an active Olympian? You're juggling a lot here, or did you think it would be on the back burner until your real competitive days were done?
I did think it would be on the back burner for a while. I have taken a couple of online courses here and there, but when I saw this opportunity with Purdue Global, I just really couldn't say no. So it has kind of worked its way up my list of priorities, but I can say it's definitely for the better.
Yeah, that's great. And obviously we can do so much virtually now, like interviews like this. You're in Germany, I'm in Albany, New York. So
I know.
Next steps for you now is as we get ready for opening ceremony on February 6th, and in terms of like your training that prepares you for competition, specifically at the Olympics, or anything you'll do in the lead up.
This is something that has been planned and in the works for so long. I have a year-long strength program that is going to peak in the next 2 weeks. So we're following that pretty rigorously. It's about getting time on the sled. So we're going to be taking runs, as many runs as we can before we get into the village. It's about maximizing every training run that we get. We get 6 runs before we race. So it's about really making sure you are not making the same mistakes twice, trying everything that you need to, and being really consistent in what you want to get out of each run.
There's a great line in the movie Hoosiers, basketball movie, about like the basketball rim's the same height in every gym. The court's the same size wherever you go. How does the track differ for you when you move from site to site and now to an Olympic facility?
Every track is completely different. They're all different lengths, different number of curves, different, like everything is totally different. Yeah. That's part of what makes an Olympic so cool, is because you get a new track. No one really has that home track advantage. No one has 100, 500 more runs than someone else. It really opens a lot of doors and creates opportunity, levels the playing field, so to speak.
Okay, ambitions here. It's funny, on the morning news today, we were talking about the pressure, right? And this is, I'm not breaking news to you here, the pressure that Olympic athletes must feel, right? Once every 4 years. And then how relentless American fans can be in terms of the expectations to stand on the podium, if not win gold. For you, having gone through an Olympic Games already in 2022, and now you have fans there too, which is cool. This isn't like Beijing. What expectations are you setting for yourself?
My expectations are to have fun. I believe that fast and fun go hand in hand, and they don't like to be there without the other. And to have the 4 most consistent runs that I can, and to trust that the speed will be there. That's what I'm channeling going in.
I love that. So now that people can be there, will you have people there? What's kind of the setup for family, friends?
Yes, my whole family and some extended family, and the wives and the girlfriends and everyone are coming. Everyone's really excited. Some of them, it's their first time in Europe, so they're stoked. They can't wait, and I'm really glad that they get to be there and watch me compete.
That's a heck of a way to do it. And maybe a big party at Lisa G's when you're back in the States after these games.
Yeah.
In Italy.
On a wing night.
Yeah, there you go. Love it. Absolutely. Ashley, thank you so much for doing this. It's been really nice chatting with you, and continued success. Good luck in Cortina, and we will certainly be watching here in the capital region of New York.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, and big shout out to all my fellow Purdue Global users out there. I know there's a lot in the capital region.
Hey, one more thing before I let you go, Ashley, if I could, on that subject, we do a segment called What Are You Watching, Reading, Listening To? What are you watching or reading currently?
Right now I'm reading The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. It's really good. If you like her other books, you'll love this one.
Okay. Working towards that degree still while competing in the Olympics. Ashley, thank you.
Thanks so much. Have a good one.
The mountain is calling. Are you ready? At Alpenhaus, we have everything you need for your season on the slopes. Our expert team is ready to help you find the perfect setup for an amazing winter of skiing and snowboarding. With a great selection of the industry's top brands, you'll find the right skis or board to match your experience and style, and all the best equipment and accessories to keep you safe and comfortable. Get outside and play with Alpenhaus, run by skiers and riders since 1964.
At Marcella's Appliance Center, our commitment is to you, providing essential appliances that families depend on for cooking, refrigeration, cleaning, and sanitation, plus appliance repair. You can have peace of mind that Marcella's is here for you today and every day, like we have been since 1957, helping you make the right choice with trusted brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, and many more. Shop Marcella's Appliance Center in-store, online, or by phone. We're here for you.
And now, back to Onorato and Miller. Sponsored by Alpenhaus.
Winter Games, a week away now. Unbelievable, huh? I'm ready for them. Love the Olympics in general, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
great.
People always say, "What do you prefer, the summer or the Winter Games?" I don't
like
know.
both of them.
Yeah, when I'm in the depths
When you're
of
in it,
each one, it's
you
like,
love it.
oh yeah, I love this one. Maybe more than the other one. I don't know.
I like both. I do love the Winter Games, though.
Okay,
Got to work one.
it's cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's time for the MVP of the month, sponsored by Marcella's Appliance Center.
Marcella's Appliance Center MVP of the month. Johnny Marcella, Nick Matalone, our people at Marcella's. And, you know, we could have gone a number of directions here. The month of December went to Fernando Mendoza. Could have gone Drake May here. Could have gone back to Mendoza. Could have gone back to the well, Indiana winning the national championship. But Sam Darnold here. Yeah. What a story, right? I mean, to go from a top 3 pick and
bounce around,
look like a bust, if you will, with the Jets and then the Panthers. And then he was a backup in San Francisco, won 14 games as a starter in Minnesota. and now has the Seahawks in the Super Bowl.
Mhm.
That draft class, everybody kind of was like,
first one.
well, Darnold,
First one from that.
Right. And you look at the other quarterbacks who are in that draft class. Pretty impressive here what he's been able to do to just stick with it, right?
Yeah,
and
good
make
for him.
himself better at every opportunity he's been given.
You go and win 14 games and have it just kind of thrown in your face like, nah, we're good.
Yeah.
And then to see Minnesota take the steps back that they did without him. And listen, I think the knock sometimes is that he's a game manager. Guess what? You can't be a game manager and go in 14 games with one team and the next season with a brand new team go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You can't be a game manager. You could have a really good defense, which he does.
Yes. Yep.
And he has a ton of weapons.
And I know
you
that
can't be a
turnovers
game
have been a
manager.
problem for him, but not in these playoffs. They haven't been. He's been the reason Seattle has won games, including the NFC Championship game. He's been really good.
I mean, he had the game of his life in that game.
Correct. 300 plus yards, 3 touchdowns. He has been really, really good.
What do we got?
Carol wants to know why our tree is still up and lit. Well, I would answer it this way.
If it's up,
if it's
lit.
up, you might as well have it lit, right? And it's up because we love the lights off and the Christmas lights on.
We did talk about taking it down this weekend, but we probably won't.
We'll see.
We've had it up middle of February at least before. So
to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Sam's checking in from Pink Zone game.
Oh,
Seattle
yes.
women's basketball
Love the Pink
team.
Zone.
A great effort they do each and every single year. All right. So our Marcella's MVP of the month is Sam Darnold. We'll talk a little bit about the Super Bowl before we wrap things up here on this week's show, but we'll take another break here on O&M. And when we come back on the show, we'll be talking with Dr. Imelda Muller from nearby Copake Falls and now a NASA astronaut. Does it get any cooler?
Yeah, you
I
don't
don't
want to
know.
miss this.
Here we go.
The mountain is calling. Are you ready? At Alpenhaus, we have everything you need for your season on the slopes. Our expert team is ready to help you find the perfect setup for an amazing winter of skiing and snowboarding. With a great selection of the industry's top brands, you'll find the right skis or board to match your experience and style. And all the best equipment and accessories to keep you safe and comfortable. Get outside and play with Alpenhaus, run by skiers and riders since 1964.
And now, back to Onorato and Miller. Sponsored by Alpenhaus.
Talking now with one of the 10 astronauts of NASA's latest class, Dr. Imelda Muller from Copake Falls to Conic Hills High School. Dr. Muller, thank you so much for sitting down to talk with us. Congratulations. I found one thing you said about getting the official word that you were part of this class really interesting. You used the word relief. And I find that when people are as ambitious as yourself, there is a sense of relief to finally achieving a dream in a lot of ways. Why did it make you feel relieved?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. I think that sense came twofold. One, there's a lot of anticipation and definitely disillusionment. You don't think something like this will actually happen. And so when it does, you know it's just the beginning in one way. So you feel a sense of, okay, I'm finally here to start this opportunity that I've been dreaming about. And I think that's really where it came, that dichotomy of I've arrived, but I'm also just beginning. And so that's a really exciting place to be. And in a way, it feels like home in a career.
And I know you're in training now, started in September. How is that going?
Oh, we're busy. We're busy. All right. It's fantastic. There's a lot of different dimensions to our training, from simulating spacewalks to language training to learning how to operate different systems on the International Space Station. And it keeps everything very interesting.
When did you first let the world know, and maybe it just started with your parents, that you had the dream of being an astronaut or working for NASA in some way. I think a lot of kids are afraid, and adults are afraid to admit, like, outwardly of what they want in life, what their goals are. Was that difficult for you to say out loud, knowing a lot of people might think, come on, that can't happen?
Yeah, that sentiment really resonates with me. I think I had that feeling as a kid, but it felt very intangible. I didn't even really know how to put it in a box of accessibility, or a path forward and how that might look. And that might be the case for some young kiddos. And so I feel like I sort of came full circle through the things that drew me to space, the characteristics that interest me about unknowns, my curiosity, wanting to work with people that were doing things that, I might not understand, but together we can sort of build this puzzle to discover new things. All of those things sort of led me back to space in a way. And I think that it's hard to vocalize that in some cases because maybe you don't know yourself. But then for me, when the dream started to be really tangible and I could identify it as wanting to be a NASA astronaut, that seemed like a really scary thing too, because I felt like I was maybe on a different path. I was going through medicine. I still had more medical training to do. And I was trying to figure out, is there a path I should follow, or should I just keep being excited and passionate about what I have? And if I land there, great. And if I don't, I'm at least excited about what I'm doing along the way. And I think that wasn't a bad way for me to pursue space, because there are many things in life that can kind of pull at our strings that we can be passionate about. And as long as you have that feeling, you're going in the right direction. And I think that's where I kind of led from first. So speaking out loud, I think I started to tell some of my colleagues at work, and certainly when the interview process is pretty long. And so when some of those pieces started coming together, I almost had to speak it out loud. And I was still a little bit afraid to say anything about it, because there's this weird fear of, if I say something, maybe it won't happen. But along the process, you start to believe it. And I think that it's good to vocalize those types of things because your community is really supportive oftentimes. And sometimes that's the type of environment you need to reaffirm, like, yeah, I can think about this a little bit. I can go in this direction. And that was the case for myself.
8,000 applicants, only 10 chosen. I know you went to Northeastern and University of Vermont College of Medicine, Johns Hopkins. What did your experience in the Capital Region allow you to, what about that experience did it allow you to dream so big? I know you talked about looking up at the night sky in Copake Falls and your grandfather's background as well.
Sure. I think those were kind of personal experiences that I had at my core. But also, I think that, high school is a very foundational time for us. And whether I recognized it or not, I went to a very small school, Taconic Hills. And with that actually came a lot of opportunity because we had the ability to participate in many different activities, whether it was sports or drama. And so with that, you learn that even if maybe I never, thought I could sing, well, I can sing with a group. And you sort of have this ability to exercise things that you otherwise, and put yourself in scenarios that you otherwise maybe wouldn't choose for yourself. And that gives you kind of a quiet confidence in abilities that maybe you don't see, but your coaches see, your teachers see. And I think that really stuck with me as I developed further in my career, academics and outside of it.
I know you're an endurance athlete. I read on NASA's website too, Imelda, that you enjoy home improvement projects and scuba diving. I mean, it seems like whatever might happen in space on a shuttle, you might be able to figure this thing out.
Well, all of that comes with working alongside a team too. And so I guess when I said earlier and alluded to the fact that, you can have many different passions and maybe not recognize how they can translate, but a lot of times just having a diversity of interests and a diversity of skills and letting yourself be interested in things that maybe don't go together and don't make sense gives you a lot of different opportunities to work with others who have those other pieces of the puzzle, and you can that opens up the door for a lot of creativity, a lot of experimentation, a lot of thinking outside of the box, and these types of environments are the places to use those skills on a professional level.
I know because you're in the depths of training, you may not allow yourself to think too far down the road, but because I sit in a TV studio most of the time, I can do those types of things for you. Do you allow yourself to think about what might be years from now? Obviously, the idea of a mission to Mars, the moon, certainly where we are as a space program in terms of what might be discovered. You could be at the core of this.
It's definitely a very exciting time to be in the space industry and have the beginning of my career start here with our NASA team. I think that this is an amazing opportunity to kind of rub shoulders with things that once inspired you in a different way that feel a little bit more tangible now. And that inspiration in some ways turns into a really deep type of motivation to know that even if I don't know where I'll end up far out, I know that what I'm doing today is an important step in getting me there. And so right now, that's me focusing on my astronaut training. And as missions come our way, as our class graduates, it will transition to focusing on one small step at a time. And we'll see what happens with our future in space. It's very exciting.
Do you remember the first time you put on something with the NASA logo?
I was also scared to do that, I will say. I remember I was down here for a medical clerkship about a year and a half ago, and I got a mug while I was down here that I put in my cabinet, and I wouldn't let myself use it. It still had the sticker on it and everything. And when I finally moved down here and unpacked it, I was like, I think I can use this mug now.
Amazing. What would you say to the people back home who will watch this and obviously be filled with pride as they listen to you and see you achieve your dreams?
Well, first of all, I would say thank you, because the community that I grew up in was really foundational in how I moved forward in life. And whether I recognize that immediately or later, I spoke about my teachers, I spoke about my coaches, my friends. They just helped to really, even if we didn't know what our possibilities were, just having a community of support is really important. And then I would also say, hey guys, the sky is no longer the limit. We're shooting further than that. So let's go.
Dr. Imelda Muller, thank you so much. Great to meet you. Congratulations again. And we'll be watching, and I hope we'll talk again soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
At Marcella's Appliance Center, our commitment is to you, providing essential appliances that families depend on for cooking, refrigeration, cleaning, and sanitation, plus appliance repair. You can have peace of mind that Marcella's is here for you today and every day, like we have been since 1957, helping you make the right choice with trusted brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, and many more. Shop Marcella's Appliance Center in-store, online, or by phone. We're here for you.
And now, back to Onorato and Miller. Sponsored by House.
All right, there you go. An astronaut from the capital region. Pretty cool.
Yeah, really sweet.
Pretty cool. That's Dr. Imelda Muller. All right, we've got some NFL head coaching news here. The Bills are sticking with Joe Brady, promoting him from OC to
Kind
HC.
of felt like that might happen.
Yeah, they went through the process of interviews and things like that. Early on, it felt like, okay, they'll probably keep Joe Brady instead of letting him walk in some capacity. I'm sure Josh Allen was part of the process and approved of that move. Steelers hire Mike McCarthy. Ravens, Jesse Minter. Browns, Todd Monken. We still have, again, as we do the show live on a Thursday night, the Cardinals and the Raiders out there to try to figure out what they're going to do. Apparently, they want to talk with Seahawks offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak before they really make a final decision on that. Early lean on the Super Bowl. Seahawks favored by 3.5. Patriots. I would say just picking a straight winner. It feels like Seattle's the better team, not even considering the spread. But every time in my life I've picked against the Patriots or thought they were the lesser team on the big stage, they've won the game.
Mhm.
So my head,
Tells you to pick the
my
Patriots.
eyes say Seahawks.
Okay.
My head, which chronicles a little bit of history, says Patriots.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I can never pick the Patriots. I will be cheering for the Seahawks.
We'll make our official picks. Not that matters.
Yeah.
Next week, and we'll show you our records as well. All right, let's give Ash a break here. We'll take another timeout on O&M. When we come back, we're talking with the quarterback of Team USA flag football. Will be an
Housh.
Olympic sport in 2028. Darrell Housh Doucette III on Onorato and Miller next.
Marcella's Appliance Center, our commitment is to you, providing essential appliances that families depend on for cooking, refrigeration, cleaning, and sanitation, plus appliance repair. You can have peace of mind that Marcella's is here for you today and every day, like we have been since 1957, helping you make the right choice with trusted brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, and many more. Shop Marcella's Appliance Center in-store, online, or by phone. We're here for you.
And now, back to Onorato and Miller. Sponsored by Alpenhaus.
One of the very cool additions to the Olympics in 2028 in LA, flag football. I mean, this is a sport that's taking over right now. When you look at what's happening in high school, see what's happening at Nebraska, right?
Yep.
But this is the guy, because he's the quarterback at Team USA when the Olympic squad gets going in 2028. But business to take care of before that, Darrell Housh Doucette III. Darrell, man, great to have you on with us. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me. I'm grateful for the opportunity. I'm grateful to represent our country.
Big one coming up against Mexico, February 5th, Super Bowl festivities. And nobody likes ties. Nobody likes draws, kissing your sister, that whole thing. And so what didn't take place last year will take place now this year, that deciding game with Mexico here. What is it about these two countries in flag that makes it such a good rivalry?
I guess we seem to be two of the top countries, at least in the Americas, in the continental side. And we weren't able to play in Panama for the gold medal due to the weather conditions. So we were able to have an exhibition and go out and compete, and play for that gold medal, even though it doesn't count as the gold medal game. It's still like bragging rights to lead up to the World Championships in Germany this upcoming year.
Housh, I know there's been a lot of chatter since it was announced as an Olympic sport, but the opportunity a couple weekends from now to be part of Super Bowl weekend, what will it mean to just listen, it's the biggest football weekend on the planet every year. What will it mean to get that exposure and those eyeballs on this sport?
I mean, for people that's not accustomed to seeing flag football, they will see how exciting, how fast paced, and anyone can go out and compete in this sport. Of course, like you guys mentioned, it's a collegiate sport now for the women, and it was frowned upon as men playing this sport, but you're going to see how exciting, how fast paced some of the moves we're going to do out there. And some of the NFL guys, of course, mentioning playing, I think is more so for us just to show our talent in football, even though it's in a different space and a different atmosphere. But we're grateful for the NFL to, let us showcase these talents. And we're honored and privileged to go out there and compete.
And look, the Pro Bowl went to this format too, right? Like, hey, if we're not going to play real football, tackle football, if you will, let's play flag football, because it showcases the incredible athleticism and skills of today's football players. Housh, when we first found out we'd be having this opportunity to talk with you, I remembered a conversation I had with Jimmer Fredette from last year before the Paris games. And he and I were talking about, like, oh, is this NBA guy going to play? Or is that NBA guy going to play? And Jimmer was ranked number 1 in 3x3. And he just was like, it's not just that easy to like drop James Harden into this sport. Like you have to kind of be playing it to really understand the intricacies of it. How difficult is it to know exactly like, okay, flag is very different than the NFL game?
Yeah, these guys physical. They catch the football. They're used to probably stiff arming or trying to run over a defender when we're trying to avoid more so contact as an offensive guy and a defensive guy. They're used to being physical and wanting to tackle or jam and press, use their hands a lot more. When in this game we can't. So it's like a switch that you're not just gonna be able to flip as easily. It's gonna take time to learn. And then we do some other things with the ball in our hands where we dip down and try to avoid flag pulls and things like that. And pulling a flag isn't as easy as it may seem. And you also have to pull it with some force. So it's a lot different than just going out and tackling. Not to say that those guys aren't great, but they would just have to learn. And
No doubt.
will it take the time out to learn? That'll be the difference. But we all know they're athletic and they're competitive. So it'll be fun.
Housh, I know so many of us kind of started talking about it when we heard about the Olympics, but this is a sport that, yes, at the high school level around here, we have girls flag football now. And like you said, Nebraska, collegiately, we're talking about women's flag football, but you've been involved in this. And obviously going back to 2021, just with Team USA, but what is your flag football history, and why is this sport something that you've been, kind of drawn to?
I've been playing flag football since I was in elementary school, and I was always a small statured kid or adult, however you want to look at it. And flag football was always like a game of tag and just making people miss. So I've always grown to play this game. And I would say one of my biggest accomplishments before I joined Team USA was winning the America's Flag Football League with the grand prize of $1 million. And we played against former professional athletes, whether they were NFL, NBA, track and field, whatever sport that they played. And we were just able to go out and showcase that flag football was a different sport. I think some of the guys did underestimate us upon us just being regular Joes playing this game, but we also taught them a thing or two in that game. And so I would say that kind of, I think, took a big step in the direction of showing that this is a different game than original tackle football. And then that's when I joined USA a few years later, and I've been on the team ever since. But it's just an honor and a privilege to go out there, be a leader for my team and represent the country and go out there and compete all the time. That's what it's all about, competing.
31-0, man, since you joined Team USA in 2021. And they call him Housh because of the resemblance to TJ Houshmandzadeh and the hair. And obviously Houshmandzadeh was a great wide receiver.
Yeah, not
Chad
a bad comp.
Johnson and that Cincinnati Bengals combination. You likened it to a game of tag.
I think it's interesting.
And by the way, that team you beat back in 2018 had guys like Seneca Wallace, Javid Best. I mean, legit NFL talent on the other side there. You were a great track and field athlete as well in high school. When did you know, you talked about your size, but when did you know that speed was really something you had in your bag?
Really, it was just a competitor in me. I didn't think I was fast enough to even run track at the time. I was displaced by Hurricane Katrina, and I was going to a new school at the time. And some of the guys were just talking trash in class, and he was like, "I'm faster than you." So it was just like a competitive thing. And I was like, "All right, well, we could go to track practice and go out there and run." And the next day when we did it, I was the fastest guy in the school. I was the new kid on the block, but everybody heard about me because I beat the fastest guy in the school. So I think that kind of built confidence in me to go out and compete in whatever sport there was that I wanted to do. And flag football was just the thing that I love to do. I love football overall. I never tried to play collegiate. I never tried out for the NFL. But flag football was the thing for me. And that's the path I decided to take. And USA has blessed me with being able to be on the team and continue to, grow this sport and grow overall. And I'm just excited for the direction that is continuing to grow into.
Are there comparisons you could make between the excitement of flag football and your love for bowling? Look, when I bowl, if I break 100, that's pretty good. And I
Yeah,
might have as many pitchers of beer as I do spares or strikes. So you're a more competitive guy in that realm, obviously. But I think people would hear that and they'd watch your highlights, first of all, in flag and go, this guy's a bowler?
I was gonna say, have you
Yeah.
ever hustled anybody? Like,
No,
they want to
I don't
bowl, put
hustle
50
them.
bucks on it? Like,
I mean, I've been bowling since before I was playing flag football. I grew up in a bowling alley with my family. My dad still bowls. My uncles bowl. So I've always been in the bowling alley, bowling league all my life. But I would want to do like a celebrity bowling thing. I think that would be like one of my goals. You see Chris Paul do it all the time.
Yeah.
Mookie Betts, and they bowl with some of the professional bowlers. So that would be something that I think would be on my bucket list to check off sooner or later. Hopefully, I'm able to take part in one of those things.
it's awesome.
Well, 2028 could be a big springboard for you career-wise. I know maybe getting ahead of ourselves a little bit here. We've got a couple of years to go, but what would it mean to make an Olympic team?
I think it's a dream come true that wasn't really a dream, if that makes sense. Flag football, being an Olympic sport was never heard of. Being a professional sport was never heard of. Or being in college, it was always a rec type of deal. So I think it'll be a dream come true. I think that is my goal. Before I decided to retire and hang my cleats up, 2028 Olympics is definitely on my bucket list to check off, and the sky's the limit after that. But until then, I'm gonna continue to grind, continue to work hard. I'm going to do my workout today as soon as I finish work, and continue to grow for that 2028 Olympics.
Housh, you're in an interesting kind of scenario because I say you're playing the long game. You're not really, because there are goals before we get to 2028. But sort of the ultimate goal is 2028. How do you continue to improve, knowing that, like, yes, you've got, 24 months before this happens, whatever it is, and to kind of take those steps and use, whether it's world championships, whatever it is, IFAF, how do you keep improving as you ultimately take aim for the Olympics?
You just take it step by step. My next step is to compete against Mexico Super Bowl weekend in San Francisco. That's the first step. And then, staying healthy, continue to train, make the team again, because we have a tryout every year. So it's not like, oh, I'm on the team this year and then 2 years from now I'll be on the team. No, you have to try out each year. So play against Mexico, go out, make the team again, continue to stay healthy, continue to learn from my coaches. That's one of my major things upon flag football is having an IQ, continue to understand in the game, go out, win in Germany for the World Championships, then circle back and have to make the team again and go through the same process,
Yeah.
and never overlook each step. Just continue to stay healthy and continue to work hard. That's my main thing, is my health, because I feel like the player I am today, I should be able to make it, but I need to stay healthy. As I'm getting older, I still need to train, continue to get faster, or however fast I could get, not lose it, I should say, more so. So that's the steps though, and never underestimate anybody that's coming to try out either.
Yeah, there's like this persistent humility
Right.
you have to have.
Got to get back to it.
Right? Like if you were on a professional team, you'd have a roster spot every single year going forward.
Pretty much, yeah.
How do you stay as humble as you are? Is that part of who you are and how you were raised and your experiences, having gone through what you did in New Orleans and having to move to a new city?
I think it's just the way I was raised, most likely. And just keeping that hunger and that feeling of not wanting to fail. I think I'm more so afraid of failing than being excited about winning. So I think that's the major thing, is just want to succeed, don't fail, and trusting my coaches, trusting the staff of USA to make the right decision, and trusting my teammates to still believe and trust in me.
What quarterback do you watch that maybe you would say your game is similar to in any way? Anybody out there?
I would say Michael Vick was my idol, of
That's who
course.
I thought of as soon as I'm watching your highlights. I'm like, this guy is a right-handed Vic.
Yeah, so he was my idol growing up. I love to play with him on Madden and stuff like that as well. Even though I'm a diehard Saints fan, he was a Falcon.
Yeah.
It was kind of tough to root for him, but that was my favorite player. I would say right now in the NFL, probably Lamar Jackson.
Mhm.
I think he's definitely the elite of the elite. Um, but I think if we're talking flag football wise, I think one of the guys that people don't realize may be one of the best in flag football would be Kyler Murray. I think Kyler Murray would be a great asset in flag football.
I believe that.
And the thing all three of those guys have in common is they can run like crazy.
Oh, yeah.
So hey,
Yeah.
you know that might work. They would be probably the most transplantable, quarterbacks from the NFL game to flag.
Yeah. Do you have some trash talk in you out there?
If you leave me alone, I won't say too much. But if you get me going, you'll get a word or two out there. I try to be more relaxed and more focused and more calm. I try to keep I'm the one that keeps my teammates calm more so. But if you get me going, then there's gonna be a problem. I get a little more adrenaline flowing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Housh, I know the NFL has tried to be more accessible from a player perspective when it comes to fan interactions, and there's the good and the bad of that. But as USA Flag, how much do you guys thrive on and connect with fans and kids out there who you want to then inspire to come play this game later on?
So most of the time we go out and compete at normal tournaments that we always competed in. We just played in the world's biggest tournament in Tampa 2 weeks ago. And the kids they also participate in the tournament. So we go out and watch them. And some of them recognize us, some of them don't. But some parents do. We sign autographs, we take photos. Even when I travel to different countries, I do the same thing. I'm constantly taking photos and autographs because I remember I was that kid that goes to the NFL training, the Saints training camp, and I want my autographs, I want my pictures, and the players, they stay after practice and do that. So I remember myself being in that kid's shoes. So I tend to just take every autograph and take every photo until everyone's happy and it's over with.
It's cool.
Last thing from me, man, and Ash will get final word if she wants it. As we were watching your highlights, even the announcers just call you Housh. You've got the single name moniker here. What percentage of people in your life just call you Housh?
So people that I've known most of my life as a kid, they'll probably call me Lil Darrell because my dad's name is Darrell.
Okay.
So I'll probably get Lil D or Darrell. And
Yeah.
then football, everybody from the football world knows me as Housh, of course. So then family starts to call me Housh. So if you call me Lil Darrell and I don't know you, I know you probably know me more personally.
Yeah.
But if it's Housh most of the time throughout everywhere now. So when I hear Darrell at the field, I don't even look because I don't
Okay.
think you're talking to me. So Housh is definitely the name. Shout out to TJ because it's his name, of course. But I had to take the name and run with it now. So it's Housh.
Love it.
Hey, it's stuck. We talked a little bit about the women, Housh. I know you've coached women's flag, but from your perspective, what have you seen from the ability of girls and women in this game that you believe? Listen, I always wanted to be a quarterback in the NFL growing up, but I knew it wasn't going to happen. This is opening pathways and doors for females in a sport similar to the way men do it.
The women can do every single thing the man can do on the field. Some of their hands are bigger than mine. Izzy hand is much bigger than mine, and Izzy goes up and make spectacular catches all the time. We have some of the fastest women. Of course, you have track athletes that are women, so they also come out and play flag football. And then you have London, who's now on a team, who can make all the crazy shifting moves. So everything a man can do on the field, the women can do, and they may be able to do it at a higher rate. They can dip down just like us, and every when I say every single thing a man can do, they go out there and do it just as well. So it's just exciting to see them go out there and compete as it is watching the men compete.
I was gonna say, I know when it comes to the Olympics, we're not looking for one gold, we're looking for two.
That's right.
We're looking for
Of
both
course.
sides, not just
Of
the
course.
men.
Yeah.
And for the women, it's exciting, man. I love to see the little girls go out there and compete because they also compete against the boys, you know, and those girls rush the boys and they do every single thing the boys do, and some of them do it greater. So it's an exciting sport to watch overall.
Awesome.
February 5th, during that Super Bowl experience, Team USA
Check them out.
against Mexico. Housh leading the way at quarterback, and he's 31-0. The team is 31-0 since he jumped on in 2021. We will be watching February 5th.
For sure.
We'll be watching beyond that international competition. And, man, we'll be looking for you 2028 in Los Angeles. Housh, thank you, man. Stay healthy. Continued success.
Thank you. It's supposed to be streamed on the NFL's YouTube channel if you're not going to be there.
Right.
So please tune in. It's going to be an exciting weekend. Starting off with the Pro Bowl, then us, and then, of course, the Super Bowl.
No
So I'm
ties
looking
in
forward
this
to
one.
it.
No time.
Team
No
USA.
ties.
That's right.
Thank
you,
y'all
brother.
for having me. I really appreciate it.
The great thing about novices, no matter who you are, they're going to put all the detail in the world into your brand. I feel like they have been a big part of my success, making me feel comfortable. This is Harrison Butker, Super Bowl champion kicker for the Kansas City Chiefs. Claim your crown.
The mountain is calling. Are you ready? At Alpen House, we have everything you need for your season on the slopes. Our expert team is ready to help you find the perfect setup for an amazing winter of skiing and snowboarding. With a great selection of the industry's top brands, you'll find the right skis or board to match your experience and style. And all the best equipment and accessories to keep you safe and comfortable. Get outside and play with Alpen House, run by skiers and riders since 1964.
And now, back to Onorato and Miller. Sponsored by Alpen House.
Final minute and a half on this week's show here. A week to go before the Super Bowl. This happened last week. That wasn't football. LeBron playing potentially his final game in Cleveland, and he got emotional during a tribute video. And is this really farewell? And I can't believe that LeBron James is going to retire without a real farewell tour.
Yeah, like a full season.
Like, I would think he would say in this offseason coming up, hey, next year is going to be my last year. And maybe it isn't in Los Angeles. I don't know. But I just don't think we're going to get to the end of an NBA season and LeBron says, I'm retired.
Yeah.
That I just don't believe. It feels like a farewell tour of some sort is coming. So I don't know that this is his last game in Cleveland. Heck, he could be playing for the Cavaliers next year as his last year in the NBA. We'll see about that. But it's been a struggle a little bit this year. I mean, the numbers overall are still good, but only 11 points in that blowout loss at Cleveland, and his streak of double-digit scoring games came to an end this year as well. All right. That's it for us this week on Onorato and Miller. Back next week with Super Bowl predictions and certainly a lot more talk ahead of the big game in Santa Clara. Have a great weekend, everyone. And I think the snow is going to miss us. We'll talk to you next week.